Witches, welcome back. So I'm finally here to do the full moon video, the things that I do during the full moon and some things that you can do. Also, hopefully you can do at least one of these because it is tomorrow. I'm sorry I'm late getting to you with this video, but I have been so busy. But I'm getting it to you before tomorrow night, so you'll have time to get your supplies together. So the first thing that you can do, one of the most popular things that witches do during the full moon, regardless if they're solitary or if you're in a coven, you can still do these things. The first one is draw down the moon. So there are two ways you can do it. The first way is when you look directly at the moon, stand with your arms open, recite the charge of the goddess. You do need to memorize it in order to do it because you'll be in the dark, and you need to just look at the moon and say that and mean it with all your heart, and just maybe you'll be able to draw down the moon that way and the goddess will speak through you. If not, it doesn't hurt. It's always good practice. The second way you can draw down the moon is if you have an altar, or you can make an altar near a window or sit outside and watch the full moon fill up a bowl of water. You can use a cauldron or a bowl of water, whichever one, but fill it with water, and then draw down the moon by inviting the moon's energy to fill that vessel, and then you drink that water to bring the moon into you. So you can do it either way. The first way is the most common and the most formal, but I've also seen people do it the second way. So the next one is moon water. I just want to share with you guys how I'm going to be making moon water this month. It's going to be a little different than my other full moon water because I usually make it in a huge vessel, but I'm going to be doing my huge vessel with a little spout and this new bottle that I made that I wanted to show you. I didn't make the bottle, but I put the moon phases on there, the little sticker that I ordered from eBay. And I put in here some crystal quartz at the bottom, some moonstones. If you're using water, if you're using moonstones in your water that you drink, they can release aluminum. So it's not really recommended to put them in your drinking water, but you can put as much clear quartz as you want. I won't be drinking this. This will be just for spells. So it's got moonstones, clear quartz, and some selenite sand. The stuff is really cool. So I put that in there because normally I'll have a big chunk of selenite sitting on top of my vessel to kind of, concentrate that energy into all the water. But I don't have to with this one because it's got selenite sand in it. This stuff is really cool. I got it from either Magic Planet or 13 Moons, but you can find it anywhere. And it's great to put in your bath or use as a body scrub, or in this case, use to make moon water. So this is going to be for spells only. So I'm excited to make that, and I won't have to worry about everybody drinking it. I know I'm going to dry my ginger. Okay. The next thing, and of course you can use moon water for any spells. It just amps up your spells. You can leave it beside burning candles to hydrate the spirits. And you can also drink it. I think I already said that, but it's unlimited. You can use it to make spaces sacred. You can use it to cleanse items. It's great. Very multi-purpose. So next, cleanse and charge your tools, your herbs, your oils, your crystals, your candles, your statuary, anything. You can cleanse and charge it under the full moon, which you already know that, but I thought I would include that just in case anybody didn't know that you could also do your candles, and it's good to put your statuary out there also. Next, focus on gratitude. Maybe you don't want to cast any spells this full moon. Maybe you just want to focus on gratitude, which even if you are doing spell work, you can still focus on gratitude. Do an entry into your book of mirrors and write about what you're most thankful for this month. Or it can be just in general. It's your book of mirrors. Put whatever you want in there. And if you haven't seen my video on the book of mirrors, I will link it below. Next, cast your most important spells. I think I have 8 to tackle tomorrow. I have 4 for clients that I'm going to do that they wanted me to save it for the full moon. So I only took 4 requests for that for this month. The rest will have to wait till next month because I cannot do that many in one night. It's just too much energy. And then I have 4 for myself that I want to do. So I have 8 total spells. Not 6, I have 8. That's a lot. I may save a couple of mine. But remember, you can harness the full moon's energy the night before the full moon, the night of the full moon, and the night after the full moon. Technically, you've got 3 days. Okay. Next, herbs and crystals that go with the moon. They are listed in my BOS, and I cannot find my BOS currently, which sucks. You definitely have moonstones, selenite, crystal quartz, and then there are several herbs that are related. I will type all of those into the description once I get my hands on my Book of Shadows. I have stuck it somewhere, and I do not know why. I just see it. I see it right now. It's in my little thing. There you are. So I will list all of those things in the description. Yeah. So I will read through them real quick. They may not even be in this one. Okay, chickweed, evening primrose, pumpkin seed, white willow bark, willow, selenite, moonstone, rainbow moonstone, and clear quartz. Those are all of your herbs and stones and crystals that are associated with the full moon, but I'll still list them below. Yay, I found it. I thought I put it in that one. Okay, so next, you can moon bathe with clothing optional. You could even put on just a bathing suit or your bra and panties, or if you're a dude, just your boxers or whatever, and lay under the moonlight. It is so awesome, especially now in the summer. It's not too cold, so definitely do that. Next, take a ritual bath with an intention and use those correspondences. So if you're wanting to focus on just peace and tranquility, you might do a tea with lavender, chamomile, maybe a little mugwort, and put that in there with you. Just use whatever correspondences go with your intention. And I'll link my Witchy tea video below because that has a lot of recipes that you can use. Next, light white or silver candles to honor the divine goddess energy. Next, charge your talismans under the full moon. Is so important to do that. You want them to absorb that energy of the full moon. It just makes them so much stronger. So take the ones that you wear the most often and charge them along with your tools. And you may not want to do all of your tools every full moon, because if you're like me, you have too much stuff. So just choose the things for this month and then take note of those, and then next month you can do more. But if you want to put it all out and you've got a big enough table, go for it. Okay, create a full moon page in your Book of Shadows and leave it open to absorb the energy of the full moon. And on that page you could list the correspondences that I talk about, and you could list some of these things that I'm talking about right now. You can make a page with this stuff and then just leave it under the full moon and drop an image of the full moon also on that page with your own handwriting. Don't paste something in there that you printed off. Draw it with your own hands, color it yellow, and or leave it white. I colored mine yellow when I did this years ago, but make sure you leave it under the full moon. Next, sometimes it's just time to celebrate your hard work for the month and kind of take a break. That's totally cool, because you've been working all month on something probably, and just take a break and enjoy the full moon. Next, you can banish anything or anyone that does not serve your highest self. So you could do a banishing spell on someone, an easy way is to just write their name down and burn it under the full moonlight. That's a really easy way to do that. Or if you have a picture of them, burn it under the full moonlight and just say, I banish thee, and blow the ashes off your property away from you. There are other ways to do it. That's just the easiest one. Okay, meditate or astral project. It's a great thing to do under the moonlight. You can do it inside near a window, or you can do it outdoors. Perform divination under the full moon. Make sure you have enough candles lit so you can see what you're doing. But it's really good to do scrying under the full moon, because it's perfect to have the light of the full moon to help illuminate whatever you're scrying into, and it just gives you that extra full moon energy. Do some shadow work during this time. You can put that in your book of mirrors, or if you have a separate journal, that's fine too, but shadow work is a great place. A book of mirrors is a great place to put shadow work. Okay, I'm on 17 now. Drum. Play another instrument, sing, dance, just rejoice under the moonlight. You can do full moon yoga outdoors if you want. Speak your intentions directly to the moon in the form of a poem or a prayer that you wrote. You would write that, you would say that to the goddess. Okay. All right, and now I'm going to show you my last one, which is a spell that you can do. I got this from the book Witchy by Juliet Diaz, and it's called the Alfalfa Buried Apple Spell. I haven't done this one yet. I'm going to do it tomorrow. This will not be the apple that I use, because I will do mine, alone with, nobody recording me, nobody watching me, to stick with my witch's pyramid element of being silent. But I'm going to read what it says. It's on page 177 if you have the book. But it's in the Wealth and Abundance section. So, the Alfalfa Buried Apple Spell. This spell sends a message to the elements that you desire money, wealth, or another form of abundance, such as a new opportunity. You must create the spell at night during a full moon phase and have easy access to a natural environment, because you are going to end up burying this apple. So what you need, a green apple, you need ginger, alfalfa, chamomile, and bay leaves, and honey. So I got all that. You'll also need a teaspoon and your bowling or a kitchen knife, because you're going to cut a hole in the apple. Okay, so using a sharp knife, carefully carve a tunnel-like hole in the side of the apple, stopping when you reach the core. I've already done that. So there's what your apple should look like. And it has to be green, because green's the color of money at just stacking magic. If you can't find green and you only had red, it would probably still work if you had all the rest of the ingredients, but I just think the green apple is so pretty, and I think that the symbolism of the color green does help when we're doing money magic. So next, stuff the alfalfa, chamomile, ginger, and honey into the hole, and then press the bay leaf to act like a seal. So it should look as the apple is growing a bay leaf out of its side. And then during a full moon phase, bury the apple at midnight in a natural environment. So let's get to work. So I'm going to move this moon water vessel out of the way. Okay. Go ahead and get a bay leaf out of here. Looks good. I think I'll use the smaller one and use the big one for tomorrow. Set that out. And you can add this spell into your Book of Shadows too. That'll give it more power. Alright. So first, I'm working on this tin foil to keep my stuff nice and clean up here. So we're going to add the alfalfa, and it says a teaspoon of each. I'm not going to put them directly in there. I'm going to charge them. Charge, bless, and empower this alfalfa to draw wealth, and abundance into my family's life. In you go. All right. Need to make sure I close these. I didn't close my chamomile and it spilled all in my drawer. It's terrible. Let me get some of this at the bottom that's not as pretty. Let's save my pretty little flowers. Okay. All right. Charge, bless, and empower this chamomile to bring luck and abundance and money into my family's life. So let it be. And I dried this ginger myself last night. I just sliced it razor thin like the guy does in the movie Goodfellas. And then put it in the oven at 400 on some parchment paper, and it dried beautifully in about 5 minutes. Okay, my ginger. Charge, bless, and empower this ginger to speed up the process of receiving wealth and also to bring wealth and abundance into my family's life. All right. So into there you go. Kind of poke it down in there a little bit. We still got to put the honey. All right. And it's really powerful when you make your own stuff, like whenever you can dry rose petals or ginger or orange peel, the things that are really easy to kind of, do yourself. You don't even have to really grow anything. You can just buy it at the store and it just becomes magical. So with this honey, I'm going to give it some witch's breath in the spoon. I'm waiting on it to get down there. It doesn't matter what kind of honey you use. You can use cheap honey, expensive honey, whatever you've got. Okay. And this honey is for attraction. It attracts wealth. And then we take the bay leaf. Under there you are. Charge, bless, and empower this bay leaf to bring money, wealth, and abundance into my family's life. So mote it be. And there you go. So it says stick it in there, and it should look like it's growing a bay leaf. Okay. And then you can take this. This is not in the spell, but you can take this and just hold it in your hands and focus on that intent for a while. Just hold it in both hands like this and just focus on what you want and just give it that intent. You can give the whole thing some witch's breath or blow on it to bring it to life. And then that's ready to go. And then you go out at midnight and you bury that. And that's supposed to bring money and wealth and abundance into your life. And I'll be doing the exact same thing tomorrow night. I'm gonna leave these herbs out so I'll have them in my bay leaf. So that's all. That's what I have. This selenite sand would be a great addition to a full moon bath. I can open it for you now and show you. Last time I couldn't when I got it in my haul because it was so full I was afraid to open it. Jeez, I closed that tight. No, it was that strong. Okay, got it now. So this stuff is like really cool. It does not dissolve completely. So if you're putting it in your bath water, just know that it does not dissolve completely. You're left like a grit at the bottom of the tub, so you have to kind of wipe your tub out. But I still recommend using that. You could even dress candles with it. You can do a lot with the selenite sand. It's so purifying. But that's all I have, witches. I hope you enjoyed those 20 things you can do on the full moon. And I will type in the correspondences for the for the full moon. And I'll also type in instructions